Winter, and this is TrueCherishment15. Okay, so today's topic is accepting flaws and being open-minded. Before I start, I want to remind you guys to fill out the Google form attached in the description below. And, yeah, give me feedback, yeah, on my channel and my videos. Yeah, okay, so, have me an outline because I don't remember things very well. So let's just dive right into it. The truth is, at the end of the day, it's only your opinion and God's opinion about yourself that really matters. So no matter how optimistic or confident you are about yourself, from time to time you're still going to notice the small things about yourself that you see as imperfections or flaws. It could be something simple as the way you scratch your nose. As a person, you have to accept that, oh, that feels good. Not that. Okay. Anyway, as a person, you have to accept that you're never going to be perfect. No human that walks this earth is perfect. Now, there are some that in many people's eyes are perfect, you know? People are like, oh my God, that's a perfect person. Whatever. But in God's eyes, not one of us is perfect. That does not mean that He won't accept us. He accepts all that accept Him for all He is. Just let that sink in. Okay. He knows that none of us will ever be perfect. All He asks is that we try to be the best of who we are. Walk in His light and represent Him every day of our lives as He should be. I tell you, I don't remember jack. And remember, if that one person can't accept that one little flaw about you, just remember that God does. And if God does, then it should be simple for you to do the same. It should be simple for you to do so. If He can accept all your flaws, and He is flawless, you're flawed. You can't accept one thing enough to move on in your life, move forward in your life. After all He did for you, you're gonna be stuck on that one thing. But the truth is, it's not easy to accept flaws about yourself. Why? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. But first, I'm going to go over the basics. Anyway, let's go into the basics. So, what does accepting flaws kind of look like? What is accepting flaws? I think I look at this through the lens of open-mindedness, because they do coincide, and you'll see that later as I speak. Being open-minded is being able to accept differences about other people. That doesn't mean that I have to like that person. That doesn't mean I have to like what I accept. I just have to acknowledge that and accept it. For instance, people who do drugs, many people don't like that. Being open-minded, you'll accept it, you'll acknowledge it. You'll try to even understand why that person might be doing drugs. It doesn't mean that you have to do drugs and you have to like it. It just means that you're open-minded about the situation. And, you know, being addicted to drugs, there's a difference between doing drugs and being addicted, but usually doing drugs leads into addiction. My wrist hurts. That's why I'm doing this funky hand dance. My throat's so dry. Can't even speak. What was I? I was talking about drugs. And how the doing one leads to the other. You heard that. Come on. You heard that. It was in my attic. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. What if like some crazy raccoon just springs out of my attic and just like attacks me? Oh my gosh. I would catch it on camera. I could just keep saying oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Picky look at my anaconda. Sorry. Anyway, like I was saying, actually I don't know what I was saying. I was talking about drugs and how they lead to, and then being open-minded and trying to figure out why people do drugs. But it ain't coming back. That's why I do outlines. Anyway, so now you can kind of see how accepting that flaw and being open-minded towards that, how they coincide. And also, love, I think, goes along with that. Besides love, hope, and faith, I believe open-mindedness is the next thing that comes up there. But you can't really be loving if you're not open-minded. It's going to be really hard. It might be possible. And that'll be another day. But the reason I say that is how are you going to love someone but yet not be open-minded to their ideas, their opinions on different topics and such? How are you gonna love them and treat them like they should be treated but not want to hear their opinion? So why is it important? Why is being open-minded important? It said it's, to me, it feels like it's one of the most important things because you're gonna use that constantly throughout your life. When talking to people, when meeting new people, they're not gonna have the exact same values or morals as you. Maybe they worship God differently. Maybe they don't even worship God. Maybe they believe in a different God. That doesn't mean you have to like it, but accept that person, that they don't worship your God. And you should respect that. It's one thing, as a Christian, yes, I'm going to try and spread God's word whenever I can. But I'm not going to constantly be like throwing God at people and throwing. I'm not gonna like whip out my Bible and be like, oh, let's sit down and have like a 2-hour chat about the Bible. Might be like, oh, so why don't you believe in Christ? And they'll like go on and stuff. Okay, it was just my chair. I thought it was like the thing. I thought it was the thing in the attic again. Anyway, back to why it's important. Another thing is, not only are you going to use it every day and when you meet new people, but being open-minded allows you to see the world differently, and I feel like you're able to solve multiple problems in more creative ways and even more effective ways. I'm just, think of it like this. Okay, you're looking through a straw. That's your perspective. When you decide, hey, maybe this isn't the only way this can be done, you're being open-minded. So that straw gets a little bigger and bigger, and then as you start to communicate with more people and in a respectful way and accepting their views, and even pulling ideas that you see could actually be helpful. The straw gets bigger and maybe it turns into like a pool. That's how I would put it. So you can see how a situation can be solved from multiple different lenses, and it's not just solving that one issue for you. It's gonna help this and this and this. You might have just thought, okay, I can get this done. This is how I can do it. This is the way I'm going to do it. Another person, group projects. Another person, he'll be like, hey, but these are the standards. Yeah, that's a great thing to do, but if we add this piece and also hit these 3 standards, and this person's like, yeah, but if we add this color and do all this, and it just adds on to your project, and I'm sorry, it adds on to your project, and you can just see how the way you were looking at it, you were only going to solve one issue. But with all those people together, you're solving plenty of issues. And never would have gotten that far had you not been open-minded to accept various opinions and ideas. So that's why it's important that you're going to use it like all throughout your life. Remember, being open-minded doesn't mean you have to like or even join in on certain activities or events. It just means that you have to accept and acknowledge that person's value, opinion, idea, etc. You can use them if you like agree and you see benefits from doing it. But yeah. So how do I express being open-minded or accepting flaws? So I've kind of been focusing on being open-minded. I'll get back to accepting flaws in a minute. So being open-minded, so you can express open-mindedness not only by good listening skills, and by listening skills, I don't know if I did a video on this yet, but there's a good TED Talk out there about listening. It's like 5 ways to listen better or something like that. I love TED Talks. Expressing being open-minded, you basically just go out there and you accept various opinions. And I said listen already, but it's really important to listen and understand and comprehend. And it's really hard to be open-minded without looking at the why that person does that. For me, it is. I mean, I'm in the IB program. That's kind of one of our traits, and like we really look into why a person does this a certain way. Why do I believe this? Simple things. Why do I believe education is good? And then we go into all various ways. It's a very complex program. But basically, you just listen to the person and comprehend what they say, and you acknowledge that it's a different opinion, but you also make them feel comfortable stating their opinion. That's kind of leaving open-mindedness, and it's being more caring, What is this? Is this... Oh my god, is that dog blood underneath my... Oh my god, I think I'm about to barf. Is that dog blood? For real? For real? I was just... What was I eating? Oh my god. Oh my god. Ew. Ew. Oh god. I was at the shelter and I think I just found dog blood under my nail. Oh my god. Because I was helping with after surgeries. Oh, it's a long story. Oh my god. This is nasty. Oh my god. Puke. Oh. Flashback. Accepting flaws. How do you express accepting flaws? Well, then I mean, you don't have to comment on that, because they probably already feel a little different about it. Not all. Some people will be like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna rock this. And that's the right attitude to have, but others, they don't. This is more about accepting flaws about yourself. Basically, you have to acknowledge them first. First thing first is to acknowledge it. If it's not gonna affect your health, flaws just don't have to be physical. They can be spiritual, and they can be mental, and it could actually be like what you're doing to yourself, like alcohol and stuff. So then you have to learn a smart way to tackle it. Maybe like week by week, if it's something with your weight, you can, depending if you're underweight, you can like say, okay, I'm gonna eat a little more every day. Like even when I feel like I'm full, I'm gonna go ahead and have like half a sandwich or something, or a banana and peanut butter. I don't know. Find a good way to tackle it. Just basically acknowledge it, find a way to tackle it, and follow through. Keep up with it. And eventually you just become confident in who you are. Yep. How do you express accepting flaws? It's a process that leads up to actually being able to express it. It's acknowledging it, then it's finding a way to tackle it, then it's finding a way to follow through with it. My cheek is itchy. After you follow through and you keep doing it, it really depends on what type it is. If it's something physical or spiritual or mental, either way, once you accept it, once you're fighting through it, people will begin to notice, hey, that person's getting better at this. She should be able to be like, yeah, that is a flaw about me, but I accept it, or I'm working on that. And they'd be like, oh, you're not working on it really good. And it's like, well, I appreciate your constructive criticism. Guess I'll work on it harder, or something like that. There are always going to be people out there who point out your flaws and who try to bring you down by attacking your flaws. Don't let that happen. It'll get you out of so many wonderful things, so many great things in life. Well, that's basically it. I'm going to go back up and talk about why it's not easy for us to accept flaws. Well, humans, we're really not meant to be alone. We much rather be in a group. That's why you might hear, like, when people go too secluded, they woo. Naturally, we like being included and stuff. We want to feel accepted. Being accepted to a certain level is healthy for us. So when I'm just itchy, I wash my face. Oh my gosh, I see the blood again. Oh my god, this is disgusting. It's not my blood. Ew. It's disgusting. I'll have to wash my hands. Oh my gosh, I was just scratching myself. Oh my god. Ooh. Okay, I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, our brain basically makes us want to be accepted. And so once we find things that aren't normal, for like if you're a guy, if it's something that other guys tend to have and you don't have it, or females, if it's something that females tend not to have and you have it, and you don't think in the dirty gutter, then you're like, oh no, this is bad, you start freaking out. And most people try to cover that, or they don't try to come out and say, oh, this is a flaw about me. Many people, I also feel like the ones that matter anyway, are gonna accept you. They're gonna accept your flaws, and if they're close to you, chances are that they already have been able to point out a couple of your flaws. And if they're still around, that probably means they really love you and they're able to be open-minded towards your flaws. What you need to do, though, if they are life-threatening or they make you not enjoyable company, then you should work on them. There isn't, I don't think there's any sites out there that help with that, but there might be. You can do some research on that. So yeah, basically, naturally we want to be accepted. So it makes it hard for us to say we have a flaw and to accept those flaws. You want to deny that we're different. We want to deny that we have multiple imperfections, which in reality we all do. There's not a perfect human, but yeah, we all have this idea of a perfect human. So I hope I explained that well. I'm gonna go wash this blood from under my nail. I don't know if you can see it. See it? That's nasty. It's that little red thing, and that's not my blood. Can you see it? It's nasty. It's nasty. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. Remember, forgive and live.